So a lot of people who know me know that I'm a toy enthusiast. I like dolls, I like stuffed animals. Even though I'm an adult, I'm very big into that. I had to record that line twice because the first time I said it, I phrased it as I'm an adult toy enthusiast. And I meant that as I'm an adult and a toy enthusiast, but I was like, everyone's going to take that the wrong way, and that is not what I'm saying. Anyway, so I am really into dolls. I like to modify my dolls. I like to make stuffed animals. I basically just love toys. A big part of my childhood was American Girl. I thought that they made really cool dolls. The dolls had a lot of interesting stories, and I always wanted to make a doll that looked like me. So if you saw my video about making the Savvy doll, that's eventually what I did, even though I used a Walmart knockoff doll because it was so much cheaper. But I still love going to the American Girl store. I love wandering around it. I think that when I go to the store, like when I have some time off, it's a nice way to get some inspiration for Forever Home Friends, thinking about how this company has kind of created an entire world that combines children's books and toys, and how that's kind of my ultimate goal for my business. So I do that. And then one time when I was wandering around the store, I noticed something that I didn't really like. And then I took that concept and I turned it into a blog. And now I'm finding that a lot of people are starting to think my blog is real. Like, people are commenting on it, criticizing me as if I'm like an actual American Girl news source, or like as if I'm actually making the decisions, which is hilarious. But today I wanted to go over, why I created this blog, why I don't update it much anymore, and dispel any rumors in the comment section that people think it's real, when in reality this is like a parody slash fanfiction blog, not slash fanfiction blog. Why can I not use adjectives correctly today? So here is the post that I originally made on Facebook that inspired all of this. As you can see, it was made in January of 2017, so 2 years ago now. And it says, "So today I'm wondering two things. One, I'm a grown adult with tattoos and piercings, and sometimes I wander around the American Girl store by myself for fun. Is that creepy? Two, American Girl, why are like 90% of your Girls of the Year dancers? Where are the mathletes and comedians and young political activists? Here, I planned out most of your next decade of merchandise while in the bathroom at the Water Tower place." That's Chicago, for those of you who don't live here. And you'll see these that I planned out are, some of these are years that have already happened now because I wrote this a long time ago, but still, I'll read what I had. American Girls 2018 Girl of the Year is Lucy. It was actually Luciana, so that was kind of like a interesting prediction there. She wants to be the first female president. She gets involved in politics when her mom loses her health care. American Girls 2019 Girl of the Year is Amber from DC. She wants to be a filmmaker when she grows up, so she makes a documentary about homelessness and presents it to her mom, who works for the government. American Girls 2020 Girl of the Year is Ellie from Chicago. She wants to be a comedian and perform at Second City when she grows up. But her dreams are temporarily crushed when she gets in trouble for performing her Trump-inspired comedy routine at the school talent show. American Girls 2021 Girl of the Year is Jen. After she's bullied for being the only girl in her class with two moms, Jen joins the LGBT cause. American Girls 2022 Girl of the Year is Laura. She's Jewish, her best friend is Muslim, and their families are at odds. American Girls 2023 Girl of the Year is Kelly. She is bullied at school for being obese, which is because her single mom can't afford healthy food. She gets beat up by girls who look like Isabel and McKenna and Marisol. I skipped 2024, have that year's girl get involved with whatever presidential election is happening that year. American Girls 2025 Girl of the Year is Addison. She was born on the night the Cubs won the World Series, and now she wants to be a professional baseball player when she grows up. Of course, if Addie, the doll who escaped slavery, is also named Addison, feel free to name her Wrigley. I'm sure that will be a name by 2025. Couple interesting things here. Multiple of these dolls that I wrote about, like, in passing and didn't even think really about their names, are now names of characters I have in books. Like, we have Amber and Kelly, which are two of the main characters from Sculpt Yourself, and we have Wrigley, which is, if you've read my Forever Home Friends book, Just Me, Wrigley, it's about a dog named Wrigley, so I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know what happened there. Then, see, American Girl, back in the 90s, I spent all my garage sale money on your merchandise. I loved my girl Molly, whose dad was drafted in World War II, and my girl Kit, who dreamed of being a reporter during the Great Depression. Now you've got all these modern day girls, and I get that modern girls are a part of history too, so make them a part of history. And that was kind of my whole point, which was that if you want to do girls of the year, have them represent the year that they're from. Have them represent the climate of that time period. And you don't have to go too deep or too political into it. But like I recently reread Kit's book, and her family even talks about like we wouldn't be in this situation if we just tax the rich harder and stuff like that. So like American Girl of the past was not afraid to represent a time period and look at issues as they were. And I feel like nowadays they're taking kind of a safe approach where pretty much every girl of the year, no matter what her background is or what her interests are, her story always revolves around, can she do this thing while also learning to work as a team and be a good friend? And I'm like, look, being a good friend is important, but I feel like to an extent that doesn't need to be the only thing we're focusing on. Like, sure, have some books where being a good friend is an important plot point, or have like one book in the series cover that. But when that's like a huge part of the doll's lore, that starts to get a little disappointing because it kind of goes back to this idea that a lot of the literature and a lot of the fiction that's targeted at young girls is all about interpersonal relationships and being a good friend and working well with others. And traditionally, like, girls don't really have a problem with that. It's usually young boys that have more of a problem with not being hyper competitive and not being good at working as a team. And so I think that like maybe we can target something else at young girls who like, for example, in Luciana's story, when she's like at space camp and has to build her rocket, like I feel like the plot of her first story could be less about like, oh, can she work as a team with her friends at space camp rather than wanting the spotlight all to herself? Instead, it could be more about like, oh my god, is her rocket gonna explode? Can she save the day? Like, have some high concept stories. I think that's totally fine. Anyway, that's just nitpicking at this point because I love Luciana. I love Z, the filmmaker. I have that doll and I absolutely love her. But this year with the announcement of Blair, whose story was again like, can Blair plan a wedding at her family's farm while also remembering how to be a good friend? I was just like about to pull my hair out. So basically this is a trend that's been going on for a long time, and I thought that these girls need to be more a part of their time period. They need to be more representative of what's going on in the climate around them. So I made a blog called American Girls of the Future. This blog is a very obvious parody. If you can't see, the tagline says "Make American Girl Great Again." So I don't know how anyone could see that and not know that this blog was a parody, that this is not real. Regardless, though, if you click on this fun About page right here, I talk about my story of how I created this blog. Where we go? So I talk about how back in the 90s I spent all my money on their stuff. As I've grown up, my love for toys has never diminished. I still buy Lego, I still buy Barbies, I'm a full-grown adult, all of that. But the store has changed. For one thing, American Girl is pushing their modern-day dolls, especially their Girl of the Year line, a lot more than their historical dolls. However, it seems that a lot of these girls are dealing with local and often softer issues than their historical counterparts. This blog is to bring back that controversy, that historical significance back to American Girl. There's so much going on in the world right now, so many interesting and significant social movements to take part in. I'd rather look back on a Girl of the Year from 10 years ago and say, I remember that year, her story captured it well, than look back on 15 Girls of the Year who dance, brush their horses, and sometimes get involved in their local communities. Plus, no one can afford horses anymore. So I even have a big disclaimer here saying I did not use real American Girl dolls. It's 24. I'm not 24 anymore. Anyway, so yeah, I basically say, like, this blog is for me to make a statement. These are not even, I didn't even use real dolls in the pictures. I even have, like, if you look at the most recent one I posted a long time ago, it was about this 2021 Girl of the Year, and she has two moms, and one mom is, like, a posable Barbie, and the other mom is this doll from Project MC Squared that I got from Target, and then this doll, to make her smaller scale, is a scaled down Our Generation doll. So I don't see how anyone could mistake that for a real American Girl doll. That's very obviously fake. And the other reason was I just kind of wanted to practice my toy photography, and I wanted to come up with some interesting stories and have fun with it. So I feel like if you look at some of these, it's obvious. However, I guess maybe I became an SEO genius without realizing it, because people are popping up on my blog now when searching American Girl of the Year 2019 and finding this girl Amy that I made up as the 2019 Girl of the Year. So let's go to her post. Okay, so this post has 5 comments on it right now. So this is Amy. She has a camera, and I talk about, like, Amy's mom never pays attention to her because she's so busy working for the government, but if Amy can make a cool documentary on homelessness in Washington, D.C., maybe her mom will finally be able to pay attention to the message she's trying to get across. I think that's a good story. Maybe you don't. That's okay. She also loves Mountain Dew. I don't know why. I think it's because Tyler had a miniature Mountain Dew for his toy photography, so we put it in there. Anyway, after we look at this post, if we go to the comments... The first comment, honestly, it seems to me like they kind of gave up on this doll. She's basically just a mix of a few other dolls. She looks super generic, especially her meat outfit, and she has the exact same hobby as Z and lives where Isabel lived. I wish they would have put more effort into creating this doll. Okay, first of all, having the same hobby as Z. Z didn't even exist yet when I wrote this blog post, so calm yourself. Second of all, she's not real. I say right here, hi Zoe, she isn't real. This is a fan fiction blog I made a few years ago to practice my toy photography. I say, I'm honored you thought she was real. I thought that was like a nice compliment. Like, okay, maybe I'm doing a great job on my photography and people are believing this blog. That's cool. Then I get another comment. She's okay, but why is she a Lori, aka Mini Our Generation doll? BTW, the girl of the year, GOTY, is Blair Wilson. Like, okay. I don't understand this criticism. So, like, you're clearly saying right here that you know that the girl of the year is Blair Wilson. So, and you're also saying that you can tell this is a Mini Our Generation doll. So you know that this is clearly not any kind of official announcement from American Girl. You know this blog is not factual. So why are you I don't understand this. So I responded again. I said, this was posted 2 years ago. This is a parody fan fiction blog I made to practice my toy photography and make a point about how American Girl was making too many dolls that were not varied or socially relevant enough. Maybe next time I'll make dolls that are 50 or 100 years in the future instead, lol. I actually think I'm going to do that because Chewie chewed up the heads of one of my dolls and her eye is all messed up now. So I think I'm going to put like a Borg eye patch on her and have her like serving on the Enterprise in the 23rd century. I don't know, 24th century. I don't think they hadn't discovered the Borg in the 23rd yet. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that's my, I just think it's kind of funny that people think this blog is real. Maybe let me know in the comments if you think I should start updating this blog again and I should like cast it way out in the future, like American Girl of the Year 2200. Like, what do we have then? Like, maybe I can start doing that and that'll be a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, and let me know if you have any ways to make American Girl great again. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe and give it a like if you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!